Good morning, this is Julie Osterkamp up at the BLM Utah State Office. This video is meant to be a brief overview of the BLM Utah Wildfire Dashboard. I'm going to try to do it in less than 10 minutes, and I've had a lot of coffee this morning, so bear with me. First, I wanted to talk about how you access it. I'm sending this email out with links in it, so you can click on those links and it'll take you right to the dashboard. It's based on membership in a AGOL group, NIFC AGOL group. So if you don't have access, feel free to email me and I can get you in there. And it is the login that's your username _NIFC. Same login you use for Inform or any other collector, any other AGOL maps or apps you use. So once you get here, a nice trick to do is to highlight the URL, copy it. Then you can create a shortcut on your desktop. New shortcut. Call it the, sure, and there it goes. So you can double click there and it'll take you right to the dashboard. And when you log in with that NIFC account, there's usually a little box to check to keep you signed in, and you won't have to log in for a week or two usually, or longer than that. So back to the dashboard. Here it is. It's meant to be basically a spatial situation report for all of Utah. So you log in and see it here. Here's the title bar. You have some filters here. We'll talk about more in a minute. Over here, you have stats. So in the gray box, the big one is the last 24 hours. How many new starts for how many acres, large fires contained and controlled. Below that, ongoing incidents. How many large fires for a total of that many acres, and then how many type 1, type 2, and type 3 fires we have. And then below that is the list of uncontained large fires. And by large fire, I filter it out for anything over 10 acres. To the right here is the stats on a specific fire. It defaults to the largest fire in the state. And you can change those by clicking on the list here, and it will bring up the stats for whatever fire is there. This data is coming directly from WildCAD via the Irwin service. So whatever you're seeing here is what is typed into WildCAD. And if it says no data, then they just have not entered the data for that particular fire. On the map here, I'm including a legend over here to the right, just in the beginning. I might minimize it later, but you have your large fires are symbolized with these red circles descending by size. Then I have little dots if there's a type 1, type 2, or type 3 incident. We don't have much going on in the state today. I have the fire perimeters loaded here, and then new starts are this little fire symbol. The red or the pink you see here is a red flag warning. And scroll down and see that here. You can turn any layers you need on and off by clicking that button. And you can change base maps by clicking that button if you would rather go to imagery or anything like that. There's a lot of options there. Once you click on something in the map, it can tell you a little more information. Helps to zoom in a little. I'm using my mouse to zoom in and out with the scroll bar on my mouse. I'm going to click on that fire, South Lone Rock. It tells you a little bit of information there on the fire. I'm going to zoom back out, and you'll notice down here there's more tabs. There's one more tab really that's a different map for you. So the current situation is what's going on right now, and then the second tab is the season summary. And I have these symbolized by human, natural, or unknown causes. So you see your stats over here, how many fires so far we've had in 2020. The number of acres broken down by human, natural, and unknown. Then you have just some visual little charts here, the count of fires, the acres, the list of all the fires. And then these are new starts by day, starting kind of back in May. Can give you a picture there. So the other interactive part, well, I forgot, you can click here and should zoom to that fire. Of course, it's not going to right now. I will go in and check what's going on there. But back to this. So the other interactive part is we have these drop downs here. And you can filter all this information either based on the BLM fire zone footprint, the dispatch center, or the agency. So it will change all these numbers for you, give you a better summary of what the information you need to know for whatever district or agency you work for or have management over. So if I click here, one thing to point out, the BLM filter is based on the footprint of the BLM fire zone because our unit identifiers are kind of in limbo right now and changing next year. But so this will filter out everything. It's like a spatial filter. The other two are pulling the data directly out of WildCAD, but this one has to be a spatial filter. So once you do that, you might want to go in. You would want to go in if you just want to see BLM stats. We should see all this change, hopefully. There's a lag. There we go. The canal fire is the only fire there, and you saw all these numbers change. But if you want to go just to BLM, you would click BLM. And you did see a number change there, but because the canal fire is BLM, it didn't change. But if you had a longer list of fires there, you could have all agencies within the West Desert footprint. But you have to click the BLM button over here to filter it further down just to BLM fires. So let's go back to all. And I did those filters first for the BLM folks. But if you are more concerned with a dispatch center, you can go up here. We can turn off our BLM fire zones, turn on our dispatch zones just for a visual. And then if you want to filter by dispatch center, you can filter down. I'll go to Richfield, or we can go to Uinta Basin, and it will filter everything there on the map and in the numbers for Uinta Basin. And then you could filter further for Forest Service or such. And I think that should work pretty well for the different forests in the state. Most of them are singularly in a dispatch center. Let me know if you're having any issues there, and I'll try to work on some better filters for folks. And it works for the season summary as well. All those filters do. So these are the numbers for you in a basin for everyone, and you could filter it further down for the agency, or if you wanted to just go to look at the Green River District, and then again, I need to filter that further down to BLM, and we'll wait on the lag here. I just tested this before this video. There we go. And there you see that. So those are the BLM within the Green River District fire zone, and you get the numbers there. So you have to undo these filters to go back and see the bigger picture. I really think that's about it for the overview. You can click up here and go to the Utah Fire Viewer. That is something else I wanted to talk about. So this is really stats, and it's doing so much work behind the scenes. You don't want to make it too complicated with the amount of layers you put in there. So the Fire Viewer that I sent out earlier this year, if you really want to get down, like you want to look at the canal and look at it compared to wilderness layers, or you want to look at the operational information divisions and such, you can go to the Utah Fire Viewer, zoom in here. It's really more, this is more for your mapping purposes. Like I have a ton of layers loaded in here. You can see all the operational stuff. We could turn on the values at risk here. You can start to see all those structures pop up. You know, anything you need, BLM districts, range allotments. I'm gonna load some more Forest Service data in there, ranger district boundaries and such. Ownership is in both of them. Ownership you can turn on here, or you can turn on back in the dashboard. I did include that layer. And you can also use this viewer. You can measure areas. You can edit very minimal things, but you can edit some things in here. Things such as that. So I'm going to try to see if I can share my screen from my mobile device, just to give you a quick overview of what it looks like once you're in the mobile device. Here we go. So I'm going to click on this and go to the dashboard. And so you just see it's a little bit of a different format. And this is on my tiny iPhone. It's not very big. Hopefully if you're on a iPad, you'll be able to see those filters up top. That's the most jumbled thing. And right now, there's not a way for me to put those filters in a different setup. Hopefully we can improve it later with that, but there you go. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Because this is a new tool, I'm very interested in improving it and making anything that's not working for you work better. So thanks for looking, and let me know if you have any questions.